Tom Sawyer, a name that echoed through the streets of St. Petersburg, Missouri, synonymous with mischief and adventure. From the early morning light to the setting sun, Tom's presence was felt everywhere. His laughter, his pranks, and his boundless energy were the heartbeat of this small town. Tom, an orphan living with his Aunt Polly and her family, was the quintessential American boy. Aunt Polly, with her kind heart and firm hand, tried her best to keep Tom in line, but his spirit was too wild to be tamed. The family dynamics were a blend of love, discipline, and endless amusement. He was full of life, with a thirst for adventure that was as boundless as the Mississippi River flowing nearby. The river was his playground, a place where he could dream and scheme, where every ripple in the water promised a new escapade. Always up to some prank, Tom found himself in and out of trouble with a mischievous grin plastered on his face. His antics were legendary, from tricking his friends into painting a fence to sneaking out at night for secret adventures. His imagination knew no bounds, transforming mundane chores into grand adventures. A simple task like whitewashing a fence became a grand quest, and every stick or stone was a prop in his elaborate tales.
Whether it was playing pirates on the riverbank with my friends Joe Harper and Huckleberry Finn, or embarking on daring escapades in the nearby woods, every day was a new chapter in our story. We were explorers, treasure hunters, and heroes in our own right. Or getting lost in daydreams during school hours, my mind would wander to far-off places and grand adventures. The classroom walls could never contain my spirit. I lived life on my own terms. The world was my playground, and every corner of St. Petersburg held a new secret waiting to be discovered.
His adventurous spirit, coupled with his quick wit and charm, made him a beloved figure among the children of St. Petersburg. They looked up to him, followed him, and joined him in his many escapades. Little did anyone know that this mischievous boy's life was about to take a thrilling turn, one that would test his courage and shape his character in ways he never imagined, leading him on a path of self-discovery and growth. The adventures that lay ahead would not only entertain, but also teach him valuable lessons about friendship, bravery, and the essence of growing up. It was a bright Saturday morning, and Aunt Polly, a stern yet loving woman, had given Tom a daunting task: whitewash the entire fence. The sun was already high in the sky, casting long shadows on the ground, and the air was filled with the sounds of birds chirping and the distant laughter of children playing. Tom looked at the fence, which seemed to stretch on forever, and sighed deeply. He knew this was going to be a long day. The fence, stretching endlessly in the summer sun, seemed like a prison sentence to our young adventurer. The white planks gleamed brightly, almost mocking him with their pristine appearance. Tom felt a wave of despair wash over him as he realized the enormity of the task ahead. He could hear the distant sounds of his friends playing and wished he could join them instead of being stuck with this chore. Despair threatened to engulf Tom, but his quick wit soon came to his rescue. He stood there, brush in hand, and thought hard. Suddenly, an idea sparked in his mind, and a clever smile spread across his face. He realized that he could turn this tedious task into something much more enjoyable, and perhaps even profitable.
As my friends passed by, relishing their freedom, I cleverly turned my chore into an opportunity. I began to paint the fence with exaggerated enthusiasm, making it look like the most fun activity in the world. My friends, curious about my apparent enjoyment, stopped to watch. I could see the interest growing in their eyes, and I knew my plan was working. I painted the fence with such gusto, pretending it was an art form, that my friends were soon clamoring to join in. They begged me to let them have a turn, offering their most prized possessions in exchange. I feigned reluctance, making them even more eager to participate. Soon the fence was a hive of activity, with my friends taking turns painting while I supervised.
"Tom, let me paint too. I'll give you my marbles for a turn." Another friend chimed in, offering his kite, and yet another offered a collection of rare stamps. The offers kept coming, and I couldn't believe my luck. I had turned a boring chore into a profitable venture, and I was enjoying every moment of it.
Tom, the master manipulator, charged them for the privilege, trading his brushstrokes for marbles, a kite, and other treasures. He watched with satisfaction as his friends eagerly painted the fence, each one trying to outdo the other in their efforts. By the end of the day, Tom had amassed a small fortune in toys and trinkets, and the fence was gleaming white. By the end of the day, the fence stood gleaming white, and Tom, much to his Aunt Polly's surprise, had not only completed his task, but had also amassed a small fortune. Aunt Polly couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the perfectly painted fence and the pile of treasures Tom had collected. She praised him for his hard work, unaware of the clever scheme he had orchestrated. This incident marked the beginning of Tom's journey of understanding human nature and the power of perspective. He realized that with a little creativity and clever thinking, he could turn any situation to his advantage. This lesson would serve him well in the many adventures that lay ahead, shaping him into the resourceful and cunning young man he would become. One dark and stormy night, Tom and his friend Huck, the town's mischievous outcast, decided to visit the graveyard. The wind howled through the trees, and the rain poured down in sheets, making the night even more ominous. Armed with a dead cat and a superstitious belief that it could cure warts, they felt a mix of excitement and fear. They ventured into the eerie silence of the graveyard, their footsteps muffled by the wet grass. The gravestones loomed like silent sentinels in the dark. Little did they know that their adventure would take a sinister turn. The air grew colder, and an unsettling feeling crept over them.
Tom, did you hear that? I think someone's here. The sound of footsteps echoed through the graveyard, sending chills down their spines.
As they hid behind tombstones, whispering tales of ghosts and goblins, their imaginations ran wild. Every shadow seemed to move, and every rustle of leaves sounded like a ghostly whisper. Suddenly, they witnessed a gruesome murder. The sight was so shocking that they could hardly believe their eyes. Injun Joe, a menacing figure with a vendetta against the town, killed Dr. Robinson. The boys were paralyzed with fear, unable to move or make a sound.
You won't tell anyone about this or you'll be next. The threat was clear and terrifying.
Terrified, Tom and Huck swore an oath of secrecy, fearing for their lives. They knew that breaking their silence could mean their own demise. The experience shook them to their core, casting a shadow of fear and guilt over their young lives. They couldn't escape the haunting memories of that night. Their carefree days were replaced by nightmares and the heavy burden of their secret. The once adventurous boys now lived in constant fear, their innocence lost forever. Tom, always the dreamer, became obsessed with treasure maps and buried riches. He convinced Huck and their friend Joe Harper to join him on a quest for buried treasure on a deserted island. Armed with pickaxes, shovels, and hearts full of hope, they set sail on their grand adventure.
This island is shrouded in mystery and rumored to be haunted. It's the perfect place for our treasure hunt.
I reckon we'll find something, Tom. Let's get digging.
The island, shrouded in mystery and rumored to be haunted, became their playground. They explored hidden caves, deciphered cryptic clues, and fought imaginary pirates, their imaginations running wild. The thrill of the chase, the camaraderie, and the hope of finding the treasure fueled their spirits. Amidst his adventures, Tom found time for matters of the heart. He developed a schoolboy crush on Becky Thatcher, the daughter of the new judge in town.
Becky, with her golden curls and bright eyes, captivated my heart.
He went to great lengths to win her affection, from showing off his bravery to offering her his prized possessions.
Our relationship was a whirlwind of stolen glances, secret smiles, and childish arguments, blossoming like a delicate flower.
They shared their dreams, fears, and adventures, creating a world of their own amidst the innocence of childhood. However, their happiness was short-lived when they got lost in the vast and winding caves near their town, leading to a terrifying ordeal that tested their courage and strengthened their bond. During a school picnic, Tom and Becky wandered off into the intricate network of caves, their laughter echoing through the damp darkness.
We ventured deeper and deeper, marveling at the stalactites and stalagmites, unaware of the danger that lurked around the corner.
As they turned a corner, they realized with horror that they were lost. The path they thought they had taken was gone, and they were surrounded by a labyrinth of tunnels.
Fear gripped our hearts as we called out for help, our voices swallowed by the oppressive silence.
As Tom and Becky faced their fears in the darkness of the cave, a parallel drama unfolded in the outside world. Injun Joe, still at large, became the prime suspect in Dr. Robinson's murder. Muff Potter, an innocent man present at the crime scene, was wrongly accused and imprisoned.
Haunted by the truth I knew, I decided to face my fears. I bravely testified in court, revealing Injun Joe's crime and clearing Muff Potter's name.
Injun Joe, exposed and enraged, fled into the very caves where Tom and Becky were lost. Tom's act of courage had dire consequences. Injun Joe, trapped and desperate, met a grim end within the depths of the caves, while Tom and Becky, guided by Tom's resourcefulness, found their way out, forever marked by their harrowing experience. The adventures of Tom Sawyer were far from over, but the experiences had changed him. The mischievous boy who once shirked responsibility had blossomed into a courageous young man, willing to face his fears and stand up for what is right.
From the fence-painting escapade to the harrowing ordeal in the cave, each adventure taught Tom valuable lessons about friendship, courage, and the importance of honesty.
He learned that facing one's fears, though difficult, is often the only path to redemption. Tom Sawyer, the boy who once sought adventure for the thrill of it, had discovered the true meaning of adventure. The journey of self-discovery, growth, and the understanding that true courage lies in doing what is right, no matter the cost.
My story continues to inspire generations of readers, reminding us that within every heart there lies a spark of adventure waiting to be ignited.